let us all do we can to build a better future. Way back in 2017, we talked about it numerous times during the election cycle, where again, there are millions upon millions of Americans being impacted by the introduction of artificial intelligence and automation. People's jobs are, again, being displaced. Now, look, we need to remember that when we start implementing automation, when we start implementing AI and automating work to replace people, it's barbaric, because then guess what? People can't put food on the table. They can't pay the bills. I mean, we're one case in point, there's the whole do-it-yourself checkout, which is pretty insulting, I mean, there's the need for cashiers, but I think we've all been in those long lines where there are no cashiers, but hey, check out your own food and bag up your own groceries. How much fun is that? How much fun is that? So, look, there needs to be a middle ground, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like that. Here, I want to play this video here, where it's showing how AI and robots can eventually, in time, replace human pilots. Now, again, I could be wrong about this. I hope I'm wrong about this. But this seems like a disaster waiting to happen. Now, I can't play the video with the audio in it because of copyright. But here it is. There it is. An AI robot. Alias successfully flew a Boeing 737 and landed it from 3,000 feet during a simulated test. Now, thank God it was a simulated test. Heaven forbid it was an actual real test. Pete Buttigieg would have a lot to answer for. But this is impressive where the technology is going. But what does that say in the long run for human beings? Is this the full automation of travel? What happens to all the pilots? Hey, I guess the airline corporations don't have to worry about union rules. But one thing that people need to take into account, it's going to take some time to maintain said planes. And it's going to cost these corporations money to, again, keep people around that can at least help maintain them. And we all know how corporations like to work. They like to, again, put in the bare minimum as possible. Now, I want to play this debate here, this little conversation. I want to call it a debate. It's a conversation between Tucker Carlson and Ben Shapiro in regards to automation and the idea of eventual truck drivers being replaced by AI. Here, let's play this for the people.
If you wake up one morning and you find yourself in a society where 23-year-olds with 4-year college degrees and initiative who aren't smoking weed every day, if they can't make enough to buy a car, much less a home, much less get married, much less have children, then why should you be surprised when half of them say they prefer socialism? Well, you should not be surprised.
I agree to a certain extent. I think that the question is...
Now, look, again, Tucker Carlson making a statement like this, it is interesting where, you have at least some commentators who are conservative or right-leaning would acknowledge this. Yes, we are creating an economic system and a environment in which people are being denied the chance to earn a living, the American dream, owning a home, owning a car. It's not only a dream, and dare I say it, it's becoming a legend. Have you ever heard of the legend of owning a house in America? Oh, God. I can actually see that happening. Legends say long ago, an average working man or woman could own a house and own a car, have 2 kids, a dog, a cat, and go on vacation. Whoa! That sounds incredible, man. What happened? The politicians got greedy, and they robbed the people blind.
When the pedal hits the metal, you talk in the book about technology and how it's shifting and taking away jobs from folks. And you
Yes.
make specific reference to truck driving and the fact that there are
Yes.
going to be these automated cars on the roads. So would you, Tucker Carlson, be in favor of restrictions on the ability of trucking companies to use this sort of technology specifically to, sort of artificially maintain the number of jobs that are available in the trucking industry?
Are you joking? In a second. In a second. In other words, if I were president, when I say to DOT, Department of Transportation, we're not letting driverless trucks on the road, period. Why? Really simple. Driving for a living is the single most common job for high school educated men in this country, in all 50 states. By the way, that's the same group whose wages have gone down by 11% over the past 30 years. The social cost of eliminating their jobs in a 10-year span, 5-year span, 30-year span is so high that it's not sustainable. So the greater good is protecting your citizens from, look, capitalism is the best economic system I can think of, I think that anyone's ever thought of. But that doesn't mean that it's a religion and everything about it is good.
No, but
There's no Nicene Creed of capitalism that I have to buy into. What I care about is living in a country where, decent people can live happy lives, actually. And so, no, I would say immediately, no, are you joking? And I maybe would make up some pretext for public consumption, like, oh, they're dangerous. The technology is not quite finessed. No. But the truth would be, I don't want to put 10 million men out of work.
So remember that. And I wanted to let Tucker Carlson get to that point. 10 million men. Hell, dare I say, let's put the number up even higher. 10 million, 20 million, 30 million men and women out of work. That's not a good thing. That's devastating to a nation. Especially when, let's face it, we have a very fragile economic system. Our supply system, our supply chain, it has already shown that it's buckling. You want to add a powder keg of people who are unemployed or can't do their jobs anymore, you're going to be creating so much instability and so much anger that could lead to an increase of violence on the streets. It could lead to something far more brutal that these corporations and these politicians just don't seem to care about. They know about it, but they don't care about it.
Because you're going to have 10 million dead families, and the cascading effect from that will wreck your country.
All right, that's from TikTok. Right. Even though the United States government wants to get rid of TikTok, so there you go. All right. So, I just want to everyone to take a few things away from this. First of all, automation and AI, it's becoming a reality. There's been numerous fast food chains that have adopted automation and AI. There's McDonald's restaurants that are replacing regular workers. There are numerous restaurants that are having, robots or computers take people's orders. And it's just not through, again, the services. It's all over America. We're seeing this happen. So in other words, if you're a young person growing up now, I dread to think about the economic prospects that they're going to have to face. Can a regular person from a low-income community, or can anyone truly get a job then? Because if it's all going to automation, and if it's all going to AI, in which these corporations can run things cheaply, and going to school here in America, especially higher education, is costing an arm and a leg, what kind of world are you setting up for the people to live in? Because it's going to lead towards a population that has no incentive to be involved anymore. But perhaps this truly is late stage capitalism. Perhaps this is truly what our corporate overlords want, us to be stuck in our environment, to be stuck in our economic situation, for us to own nothing and we'll be happy. We already seen numerous reports of these same corporate tycoons, these corporate overlords of ours, large real estate and so much more, buying up farmland, buying up housing. We've seen the banks buying up abandoned houses that have been foreclosed on. So it's not only jobs that are being denied to us, the ability to live safely is being taken away from us. And there are politicians right now in Washington, D.C., both Democrat and Republican, that are writing rules, laws that will benefit their said corporate overlords, their donors who want this world to happen. I mean, I don't know. Let's have democracy in the chat. Do you trust an AI truck? Do you trust a whole fleet of trucks on the road to be AI? Do you think there won't be anything wrong that will happen? Type 3 if you have absolute high confidence that the roads will be safe with these AI trucks and that nothing could go wrong. Type 4 is, oh my God, if they all go haywire, we're all screwed. There you go.